In this video, we are going to take a look at 10 Flutter UI packages that you should be using to enhance the quality of your app and improve UI UX for your users. So let's get started with our first package, and that is Splash Screen. Splash Screen is really important for any app, and it's the first thing that users see in your app. So make sure you add it in your PubSpec YAML file, and let's see how easy it is to add a splash screen in your app with this package. I'm in my main.dart file and I have created this page here, splash screen page, where we are going to write the code related to splash screen. And this is my file splash screen.dart. To create the splash screen with this package, all you need to do is create a new instance of a splash screen, pass in the seconds for which the splash screen should be visible, the screen which it should navigate to after 5 seconds in this case here, and the title in your splash screen. And you can also specify the image, and also you can specify the size of the image that you are going to show in your splash screen. Let's reload our app and see what we got here. So as you can see, I've got a beautiful splash screen right in front of my screen, and it disappeared exactly after 5 seconds. I restarted my app again and we'll see in a minute. 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, it's there for exactly 5 seconds, and this title and this image was shown. Okay, so now let's move to our next package. So the next package that we have is our introduction screen. Introduction screen helps us to create a smooth onboarding screen flow that you must have seen in the apps just after the splash screen. To add the onboarding screen or introduction screen in your app, add this package in PubSpec YAML file, introduction screen, and in the main.dart file I've changed it to onboarding screen, and now in my onboarding screen.dart file, let's see how we can achieve that. It's very easy to add onboarding screen with introduction screen package. We need to create a new instance of introduction screen. It takes a pages array which just holds the images and the title and some description, just like this. Page view model, we have pages is just an array of type page view model, and page view model takes in the title, the body, the image, and some decoration. Here in the image, I have just used this function to create an image from that specific URL that I'm giving it. Like here I'm giving it this URL, and it's going to generate the image. And the decoration is just simply the page decoration that I've used, which would be much more clear when we see it on the phone onboarding screen. Okay, so I have created 2 more pages here, similar concept, nothing more complicated here. And in the onboarding screen, you must just see that when you move to the last page of those 2 or 3 pages, then you have seen the done button or get started button. So on done is the callback, what happens when we click on that button, and on escape button is also usually there, and it's also that callback. And we have show escape button, which we need to set it to true if we want to show the escape button. And we have escape and next. We can customize it with any widget. Here I have just used the simple text widget and icons widget. And the done is also simply a widget, any widget you can create here. So after adding all of this, I'm going to restart my app, and now let's see our onboarding screen. So here we have a beautiful onboarding screen. The decoration, what decoration did here is it just styled all of these together. The title, the body, the description padding, and everything that you see here, and the build image returned this beautiful screen. Here is this script button, and here are 3 dots, and we have a really smooth onboarding screen flow. And this is the next here, which I was talking about. And I click on done, navigate us to the home screen as we have defined here. Okay, so this was our second package, introduction screen. Now let's move to our third package. Our third package is logger, which really helps us to see the print statements in the console in a really nice way. We all use print statements in our code, and they can get really messy, and we might not even see them in all of the stack trace that Flutter outputs when it's running the app. So logger helps exactly in that. To add logger, just put it in your PubSpec YAML file, just like this here. In the main.dart file, I change it again to the logger screen, and in my logger screen, let's see what we have here. Just a simple app bar, because the main thing to show here is on the console, which I'm just going to show you. I've created an instance of the logger like this, and now I can print my statements much more clearly and in a really good way, like you will see here. This comes from the logger.verbose, This comes from logger.debug, from logger.info, warning, error, and WTF logger. All you need to do is just, instead of the print statements, use them like this, logger.v, logger.d. The one main benefit of this, it gives you the exact line and everything where the log was printed, and it's also pretty much differentiated from what Flutter prints and easy to recognize and differentiate from the regular console print statements. So I hope it's useful for you. Our next package is FLChart package, which helps us to create these beautiful and interactive charts which are helpful in any of those apps which want to show some metrics or something related to the activity or user, like fitness apps, time tracking apps, and you can add them easily with the help of FLChart package. I made a separate video for FLChart named as data visualization in Flutter, which you can find in the description or by clicking on the I button, and I've covered really cool customizations in that and everything that you can imagine to build with the FLChart package. So make sure you check that out. With that, let's move on to our next package. Our next package is Lottie, which helps us to add pre-built animations in our app from the website known as lottifiles.com. Here in lottifiles.com, I have searched the chat term which giving me these pre-built animations by the amazing creators, and I can just add it in my app basically by doing nothing but just by downloading the JSON of this file. I have clicked on this image here and just you need to download the JSON. After you download the JSON, you can put it in your project, in the Flutter project, and now let's see how we can use this animation. In my Lottie screen file, all I have to do is just create a lottie.asset instance like this, pass in the asset location, make sure it's JSON and nothing else. You need to specify the width and the height and fit as you specify in other apps. And that is almost it to add any animation from the lottifiles.com. Here you can see the beautiful animation that I have added from the Lottie files, and it looks really cool. I just have to download this JSON file and write this much code, and this would do the job for me. And pre-built animations are now the part of my app, because animations are bread and butter of any modern application these days. The next package that we have is Shimmer. Shimmer is really famous in any apps that you see these days, maybe it's Reddit, Netflix, Instagram. And to add these kind of effects in a Flutter apps, all you need to do is add this package in pubspec YAML. In the Shimmer screen, I have this kind of shimmer right now here. You have to return the instance of shimmer.from colors, as you can see here. You specify the period, which is the duration, and takes in the seconds or milliseconds. Like this animation right now is running for 1 second. Direction left to right, as you can imagine. The base color is the color which is fixed here. Like the gray color is fixed on the scaffold, and the highlight color is the white color, which is just animating from left to right on that base color. And you just need to specify the child for height and width of this container, which I have just made the function here. You can see this code from the repository linked in the description as well. So that's how easy it is to add shimmer. If I change the height and width here, let's say if I made the height 10 and width is still 200, and I reload the app, I will see the line shimmer. So you can try the different combinations and achieve whatever is shown here. Okay, so our next package is Progress Dialog. Progress Dialog is really make it easy to show progress of any kind in the Flutter apps without managing set state and using variables like this. Like here you see, when I click on show dialog, I see this beautiful card which changes the state according to the status of the file, how much it is downloaded. Let's see the code of this screen right here in the progress screen. Here I am mimicking that I am getting the data from the server just by delaying the future. To create the progress dialog, the first thing that you need to do is instantiate it like this. Pass in the context and the type. There are not many types available, mainly the download and the normal type. But here I am mimicking download, so I am taking the download content. What the download does is, when I click here, it shows this percentage here. That's the use of download. If it's normal, it won't show that. That's why I'm using download here. And now I'm styling my dialog box. I'm passing in the initial message, what would the border radius, background color, elevation, what's the initial progress, and what can be the maximum progress with which it can change style, the progress text style, message text style, and this progress widget which you see here, this circular container which is rotating. So it's easy to specify all of that. Okay, so now let's move to the fun part and understand how the progress dialog is changing its messages and everything, even when I'm using just one variable here, which is percentage, to show how much the file is downloaded. For that, all I have to do is I have to come in this on pressed, and to what this line does here is pr.show. It starts showing the dialog box from its current state. Like here, I'm using downloading, which is the initial state of this progress dialog. So when I click on show dialog, the first thing I'm going to see is downloading. Cool. And unless I execute this line here, pr.hide, the dialog box is going to be there forever. If I omit this line, the dialog box will not disappear ever. Like you can see here, I'm going to reload the app and show dialog again. It will going to be just like this, and it's not going to hide because I've never called pr.hide. So this is really important to hide it whenever we show it. And everything that you need to do will come between these two lines here, pr.show and pr.hide. I'm going to restart my app to initiate the state of the double variable and show you again everything. So now when I click on show dialog, pr.show is executed. Here I'm just mimicking that we are getting data from the server. For 2 seconds, I update the percentage to 30, and I also update the message in the PR and the percentage as well. Again, I'm mimicking for 2 seconds, making percentage 60, and also changing the message and the progress. And same thing again here, and then we are just going to hide it. So let's see it in action in one last time. And you can see downloading after 2 seconds, it's going to be 30, then almost 60, and then completing, and then gone. So this progress dialog, and it's really essential in any app. Our next package is photo view, which gives us more control on the images that we see in our screen, because images are a crucial part of any application. Like here, I'm going to zoom it and zoom out, and I can rotate it and do all sorts of stuff with this package photo view, which we cannot directly do with the network image or asset image if we don't wrap it in the photo view. So in my photo screen.dart file, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to wrap my asset image with the photo view, and that's it. This would give us all the controls. Photo view is also essential if we want to create a beautiful gallery like stuff in our application. Like here, photo view gallery.builder, it will take the array of the images that it has to show, and here I've taken this images array, and it's going to return a widget of photo gallery page options. And here you just need to provide the image, which would be asset image, images, index. And so now if I reload my app, we'll see the nice gallery with the help of photo view. And I can just zoom in, zoom out on the images as well. So photo view is really essential if you are using lots of images in your apps. And following the photo view package, we have another image package, which is cache network image. Cache network image is really important if you are dealing with the apps which has lots of images coming from the internet, or normally any app have the images coming from the internet. Cache network image helps user to download that image only once, and if it's downloaded, then it's not going to be retrieved again from the internet, rather from the local storage of the device. And that helps user to have faster and smoother user experience. To add cache network image, all you need to do is just specify the image URL, the progress indicator builder when it's downloading, and the app widgets if it's failed to download. There is nothing much to show here in the cache network image, so that's why I'm going just with this code here. So that's it for this video, guys. Make sure you check out the GitHub repository linked in the description, and make sure to subscribe the channel for more content related to the Flutter. You can also check out my data visualization in Flutter video if you are interested in learning about FL Chart more. And I will see you next time. Thank you.